fellow nerds. Let's talk Cowboy Bebop episodes 9 through 12 on our anime newbie watch party, watch
Playlist. It's our
playlist. Yes,
playlist for
thank you.
Anime
newbies
watch
to anime.
list. Oh,
I've got a real quick ask for those of our viewers who care about anime. Um, as you guys know, I did create a booklet for Dave and Keith to follow along, kind of keep track of which anime they've watched, in each category, the ones that were chosen based on the poll that we started with. If any of you in the chat want a copy of that booklet, I can provide it for you guys. So just let us know. We'll put it
I
on
want
like
one.
Facebook or something.
Sierra wants one.
Yeah, I need one.
Well, the next thing we're doing after this 25 episodes of Cowboy Bebop, which we got 13 left,
And
is
the movie.
Attack on Titan in movie.
And
Wait,
movie?
who's the
Okay.
movie?
And then after that, we're going to expand in a different direction. So
So
don't know
here's
what
a
it is.
suggestion that I have. Here's a suggestion that I have for you guys. Rather than focusing on one at a time and only doing like just doing Cowboy Bebop for a couple of months and then Attack on Titan for the next couple of rest of the year. Maybe watch a couple of different anime kind of at the same time if you get the opportunity, like an episode of this and then an episode of that. Kind of broaden your horizons a bit.
Well, we don't want to overwhelm them, though.
No. I'm not saying like everything, but
Yeah.
maybe like an episode of Attack on Titan and then maybe an episode of like Death Note or something.
Oh,
I
that-
definitely need to know the list. I feel like JoJo's would go pretty good. With...
I did not add JoJo's because that's a beast. There's so many
is.
JoJo's.
It is. I feel like,
And I mean
something-
that as in the sense of the anime. There's so many. I don't want to call them seasons because generations. What's a good way to phrase it? And then there are so many
generations.
JoJo characters because each
Mhm.
new groupings of JoJo anime, there is a new JoJo character.
Yeah, it's it's consistent in generations.
Yeah.
Inconsistent with same main character.
There you go. It's
But
I would not consider that a beginner anime.
yeah. No, if you're gonna watch a serious anime and then you're gonna explore a little bit, I would recommend watching something a little lighter
goofy.
hearted because there's only so much negative you could take, and then I don't want you to get the wrong impression about anime.
You do have a good point, yeah.
I would try to find like a goofy one to watch while you're watching Attack on Titan, if you're gonna do it that way.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe we could sprinkle in a comedy one during those so we can get a little break from the intensity.
I know a good
And Fatherly
sitcom
Fandom
one.
agrees. He says something a little bit lighter. So
Yeah, but I
I'm
don't
leaving it
know.
up to Doug.
Do you
Well,
have
I'm gonna
a
go ahead and put the booklet on Facebook for you all if you want.
Do you have a sitcom genre for anime on there
Yeah,
as well?
basically. A lot of like
Yeah.
the slice of life stuff is pretty sitcom-y.
Yeah. So anything from there. I don't want to add more to the list, but I have some suggestions.
The list is pretty hefty.
But yeah,
Since-
the list is pretty crazy. So
Sierra just loves animes.
it's
Yeah,
my favorite thing. It makes me happy.
that's
Yeah.
good.
Well, and okay, I think I told you this on the phone before, where it's not just it being, the Japan. It's not just a Japanese cartoon. It's like, it's not just the animations of it all. It's the storytelling. It's the character development. Like in my opinion, I think that they do it better than any live action movie in America or westernized. I think they do it better. That's my personal opinion. Not every single anime is better than every single Western movie type or show type, but I will say in my opinion, there's more of a majority that are better in anime than there are in Western. Does that make sense? Am I making sense?
Yeah,
of
I mean,
course.
I see what you're saying. Especially recently.
Yeah. Like with Cowboy Bebop, like it just the character development and the storytelling, and to jam pack all of that into 26 episodes is just awesome. Like, I haven't seen any other show do it like that. So that's a big deal too.
And that is a great segue because we're talking episodes 9 through 12 that Dave and I watched for our newbie anime playlist. We got, and I know it's Sierra's favorite character, Jamming with Edward.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I loved when they were all like, they were interviewing people and they're like, Edward's a 7-foot ex NBA player. Who's this? And they all have their different theories about who Edward was and everything. And she's just this, for the lack of a better term, a schizophrenic little girl who is just like completely, she's like a technovore. She like completely is just in tune with all of the electronics around her. And I loved it. I thought it was great. And the fact that she wanted to join the Bebop crew led me to one of my favorite lines in the show. 3 things I hate: kids, animals, and women with attitudes. And all 3 are on our spaceship now.
That's right. He was even upset with the dog. That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's awesome.
I do love Spike though. I think Spike is an excellent character.
He is. And oh god, I love his backstory. I'm glad that you guys finally got a chance to see it.
Yeah, at least I noticed when I rewatched it a little bit with my dad when I was in Michigan. They've been sprinkling it throughout the entire time, and it was like, if you're watching it for the first time, it'll kind of go over your head until it doesn't, if that makes sense. But rewatching it, I noticed every little thing. I can't talk about this one part until you guys finish it, but it was a shocker. I was like, oh, they did it that early? Okay. So
It's real good because then you can recall it later on. It's also great for rewatches because the same thing, like you, I was going back and I was rewatching and I'm like, oh my god, I missed that my first time around. I'm like, it was like right there in front of me.
Yeah.
I love layered shows like that.
Yes.
It's awesome. It gives you a reason to watch it again because you love it the first time. The second time, you're like, it might take some time for you to come back to it, but then you'll be like, yeah, I could do it. And then you do it and you're like, oh my god, I love it even more.
You know, and this show does a great job of really mixing up the episodes. Like this one, a lonely AI who was burning pictures in the earth because it was lonely. I mean, that was kind of cool. And then I love that Radical Edward said, oh, we'll make a copy of you and keep you safe. Or they can destroy the copy and we'll keep you safe. Like, oh, it's like, oh, yeah. But then we had the backstory for Jet in episode 10, which I thought was tremendous. I mean, him carrying that, you know, why did you leave? Because all she put was farewell on that note. And him dealing with that and finally getting some closure with all of that. And, actually getting the bounty, I believe, on, her boyfriend. For once, they rarely do. And, then we got Toys in the Attic, which was like, almost like a horror.
Yeah.
With the pudding. With the sentient pudding.
Yeah. But it was a lobster that became some weird monster.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a fridge up here. What's in here? I got bit.
Yeah. That was actually one of the better episodes, I think.
I did. I enjoyed it. Just them being, especially Edward just going off on her own and being weird, and then ending up eating it at the end.
Right.
After Spike.
She's like, oh, there it is.
She just eats it like it's nothing. It doesn't scare her. She's like, oh, yeah, that looks good.
Watching this and thinking about our comparison that we were making earlier on, kind of talking about how it's similar in a way to The Mandalorian. It got me thinking, yes and no. And now I wish that in future seasons of The Mandalorian, they would sort of refocus in on his bounty hunting. I'd love to see him, like, he can still do the Mandalorian stuff, it's whatever, but I think the planet's fine now. Things are settled. I think it'd be kind of fun to see him going out and catching bounties again.
Yeah, I do. I mean, the last season of The Mandalorian seemed more like The Mandalorians. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Well,
They
with the
could
way,
actually
featuring Din sometimes.
and with the way it ended, it looks like it's going to be more Din Djarin focused. And hopefully, you're right. Hopefully, he'll be getting bounties, and it'll lead to the bigger story because we know Thrawn's back in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we know some things are going on, and hopefully, it'll intermingle and do a good job of us learning the bigger story of what's going on in the universe while he's doing these bounties to kind of make a living.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2025, people.
Plus, it would also be a good. I know
Yeah.
that I'm sort of tangenting off, but just for a moment, it would sort of be an interesting way to get him into the movie. Like I've been thinking about when they do finally make the the big Mandalorian Book of Boba Fett whatever else kind of amalgamation movie.
Filoni.
I'm trying to think like how the big Filoni verse movie. How are they going to naturally bring the characters in? And I feel like having Din going after a bounty and just running into one of the other characters like as he's looking for clues, that just feels like a natural introduction.
Yeah, you're right, because that's what they do in the show. He has all these things he does on the way to doing his job.
Exactly. And then he gets tangled up into it. So sorry. Okay, tangent over. Back to Cowboy Bebop.
Wait, back on the tangent. I'll help you with that bounty, but you got to help me with something first. Okay.
Yes.
There you go. Exactly. That's
So-
what I.
What do you guys think of Ed so far, though?
I want to know why you thought I would like Ed so much. Is it because she's so goofy?
It's because she's goofy. Yeah, she's
Okay.
really a quirky character. She's awesome.
Yeah, she's goofy as.
She's a tech nerd. She's awesome. I don't know. I like her.
No, I think she's great. She's goofy. She's smart. She's a hacker basically. So it's all of the things. She's a hacker without being that. What is the word I'm looking for? Cliched hacker from TV where she's typing real fast and she's jittery and stuff. She's not nervous. She's not doing all the weird stuff. She's just a goofball, and she's great at what she does. So it's nice that they've done something with that, archetype of being a hacker and not made it so terrible.
And I like the way, like they put it in the show. They described how they had a generation of these hackers that that came out naturally because of the way technology was. And
Yeah.
some of them came out with more skills than others, just naturally. I like the way that they described that in the show, and then they put her on.
World building.
Yes, world building.
Exactly. Perfect world building. It's awesome.
Zach,
Okay.
I know you're watching our videos. Pay attention to this part.
When you
So-
build a world and you create
Yes.
rules for that world, you got to obey those rules.
Mhm.
Make it make sense.
Yeah.
That's
We
the rule.
We just got a message from Zach. He said that's what he's doing in his director's cut. So stay tuned.
You just needed an extra 80 million for that one.
In his 4-hour director's cut.
I'm sure it will be a 4 hours director's cut.
With even more slow-mo.
Oh yeah.
What do you guys think? Is this a good intro to anime for you guys? Is it are you enjoying it? I assume you are. But
For me,
how-
100%.
for an
Because I
introduction?
am a sci-fi guy through and through. I mean, I love Star Wars, Star Trek, The Expanse, Mass Effect games. I am into all the science fiction out there that I could possibly get a hold of. So I think this was an excellent way to dip our toes into it because it's something I love in this new form that I'm getting used to. So it's easy for me to get into it. It's not like a whole new thing and a whole new genre to try to dip into.
Yeah.
So, I mean, doing it this way, I think, was the easiest way to get me, pretty immersed quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, I
And-
agree.
Yeah.
It's been easy to get into, and it's better for me not to be challenged by 10 or 11 seasons. Since this is one season, it's easier to get into, and I like the idea of the Attack on Titan, but I have watched a few of those Death Note episodes with you,
Yeah.
and I'm looking forward to getting to that show. So yeah, it's a good start for anime.
Why are we starting with Attack on Titan next?
Because you wanted him to.
Yeah,
I
you
did.
told us Attack on
That's why-
Titan.
You told it. I didn't think it was a good idea, but you said I need someone to talk about the ending with.
No, I wanted you, Doug. I wanted you to finish it. But
Well,
I'm
it was
gonna
a sad
retract.
ending, so there. That's all I can say about it right
It
now. It was very
was.
depressing.
It
I
was.
I kind of saw it coming, but like, and I really don't know like how else it could have properly because I mean, there's so many shifting alliances that it was like I can't say anything
Yeah.
more. I'm sorry, it would ruin it, but
I mean, I'm gonna rewatch it because there's a NYSQ still needs to watch it for one thing, and
Mhm.
for another, it's just there's a lot of story that I watched it as it was coming out, so there's like now I can watch it all in one, and I'm gonna try to get the full story there. Now, if you guys are doing this based off of me saying this should be the next one, I retract my statement. I do.
well then I tell you what, why don't you guys look through the book and you come to a consensus of what you would like to actually watch next. If you want to
Mhm.
tackle the beast that is Attack on Titan, then by all means. It's it's good, it's a lot to get into. And I think I told Keith this. I don't remember if I said this on air, but it is in my humble opinion, you may disagree with me, Sarah, but it is in my humble opinion that it takes about 5 episodes that you need to watch in a row. Like, I mean, part of the first episode is pretty good, but then the rest of it is, it's fine. It's like we're,
Yeah, it's world building, it's character
yeah,
development, and
a lot of
it's
boot
stuff
camp
that you'd
stuff. It's a lot
rather.
of, getting to where we need to get to for when,
Yeah.
like, the real stuff really starts happening.
It's like, okay, I understand that I need this information, but
Yes.
can we get to the point, please?
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
there's
that's
a lot of that.
about 5 episodes in.
That's probably
Yeah,
why they started doing flashback storytelling, so you could get into the story and then
yeah,
flash back to the important stuff.
I wish that were the case. They do it for filler.
yeah.
They
No,
do
there's a lot of. We should teach them about filler episodes as well, because that's a thing.
Yeah.
There are in certain animes, I'll use One Piece as an example because it's vast. It's a huge amount. So they have like and I've said it over and over again. They have over 1,000 episodes. I think they're in the 1070s now. I don't quite remember. They're starting a new arc, but in between every arc, there's always filler episodes. And actually, not even. There's more than that. It's not between every arc. It's like all throughout. It's just scattered filler episodes.
Yeah. So like every
And
now and again, you'll be watching episodes that contribute to the overarching story.
yeah,
Then you'll have an episode where it's following some of the side characters doing like going on a shopping trip or some goofy nonsense, and it's like,
yeah.
wait, hold on, what happened to the big fight that we were just in the middle of? And then it's just some one-off story that doesn't matter. It's like,
It's like
oh,
okay,
okay,
Like watching
they
The
put
Walking
it out.
Dead.
worse.
Like Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, they put it out weekly throughout the year.
Yeah.
There's no like they don't stop. At least for One Piece, they
Yeah.
don't. There's no chill time unless he goes on a hiatus for a month, which I hate when he does that. But so he needs a break time, I assume. So he does like filler episodes in between the plot to continue drawing out the anime and getting the recording done because it's pretty fast,
Yeah.
especially for One Piece. So they have their filler episodes to like save some time, and then they just kind of leave it in there as well. Like they just leave it in when they put it out to like Crunchyroll or something. Just leave it there. They're not going to get rid of it. You can watch it or not. It's really about getting the list.
That's
There are a
why
couple
she mentioned
different-
that One Piece list, so that way
Yeah.
you know which episodes to watch, what you can skip over, what like doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And
you
I
can
was actually
get,
thinking about that. You got me thinking and wondering if they do that for other shonen anime. Because
not the same way, not like a Discord channel or anything like that, but they do
Okay.
have a list of what episodes to watch and what episodes not to watch.
because I wish if I would have had a list like that back when I first started watching Bleach. If I
Mhm.
would have known ahead of time, I wouldn't have wasted my time watching like all of season 3 or whatever that was with
Yeah.
the nonsense vampire BS that didn't matter.
Yeah.
Wait,
No.
his name was Coach Ferratu?
Right. It was real like stupid crap like that. It's like it had nothing to do with everything else that was going on. And then after it, they never reference it again. An entire
Solid.
season of like 40 or 50 episodes that don't matter.
Yeah, they do that. So if I don't think Attack on Titan has
No,
many
Attack on Titan doesn't
filler-
really do that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't really do that. Their story is vast in itself, so I don't think they have time to do that.
Yeah.
They do take their hiatus, and mind you, they take their hiatus, and
Mhm.
they dragged it out. You guys are lucky. You guys,
You're
get
lucky
all
that you
the
get to watch
gems.
it like in one go.
Yeah.
Good.
So, now if you're trying to get into something funny, like Doug said,
Are you looking at the book right now?
I'm not looking at it yet.
Oh, okay.
But I will say, did you send it to my email?
No, I put it on Facebook and I dropped it in the chat on Twitch.
In the chat.
Okay, got you. There it is. I will say you guys should probably watch something funny next to get you guys more accustomed to their type of humor and their type of like
I would agree.
characters. Their culture. You know how we said they were like very like. There's a lot of fan service in a lot of anime, and
Yeah.
something you gotta get past, or or you just
Is it done right?
Avoid. Huh?
Is it done right? If it's fan
Oh, yeah.
service.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
they don't
Yeah,
fumble very often.
You got girls just running over, grabbing other girls' tits from behind them just because,
Yeah.
What?
It gets
What kind of show are we watching?
pretty much any slice of life anime.
Anime porn.
I mean, they're okay. So when they get provocative, the men their noses bleed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot to put that in the tips and tricks.
Oh, are
Yeah.
these
Forgot about that.
common tropes?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. You'll see that. I don't imagine you guys ever watching One Piece because, like I said, it's over 1,000 episodes, and I don't imagine you ever doing it. But I
But
will
you'll see
say
that in a bunch of other anime too. It's not limited
Yeah.
to One Piece.
No.
You said the One
I'm just
Piece
saying you'll
live
see that
action's
in a
good.
lot of shonens and other anime.
Yeah.
It's not just the sitcom anime. That was what I was getting to.
It's funny that you mentioned that one. I didn't know that when I was first starting into anime. So, I was watching a few shows here and there, and I didn't know all the tropes yet. And I
Mhm.
started playing the game Persona 4. And at one point, they're doing a school festival, as they do, and they're doing a swimsuit contest at the school festival. And one of the male characters, he's just standing there watching, and then a drip of blood comes running down his nose, and I didn't understand why. I didn't get the joke, and I'm like, and all the girls are freaking out like, ew, oh my god, his nose is bleeding, what a pervert. And I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
understand what's happening.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we clear that up for you guys if it ever happens. Now,
Yeah. Now you guys know.
I don't know. Death Note is pretty short. I feel like we should do talking. Anyway, I feel like you guys should do something short again where you're not overwhelmed with the amount of episodes that you're gonna watch, which is why I retracted on Attack on Titan. I know Dad said he was excited about Death Note. That it's pretty good. It's pretty solid. I would say you might like that one. It really depends on. I feel like you guys should look at some of these like online. Just Google search them and see if that's something you're excited to watch and whatnot. But
Is it okay if I Bing search them?
no, it's not. It's
Yeah,
really
he
not.
gets points for Bing
Just
searching.
kidding.
He gets points for Bing searching, so you know,
Oh yeah.
you got priority. See, what didn't you get a Game Boy or something out of that?
No, I got 6 months of Ultimate Game Pass. And
Oh, that's what.
Oh,
it is.
that's
I've gotten Xbox gift cards.
That's
a
awesome.
good.
Pays to
That's a
Bing.
good.
Well, if that's the case, I might start binging it too.
Chandler Bing.
Chandler Bing. Oh,
You know what might be a good kind of goofy, funny one? What about My Next Life as a Villainess?
that one I don't know too much about.
So in
I know. Oh wait, yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
in that one, this girl is obsessed with this like dating sim video game, so much so that she knows it inside and out. She knows all the characters, and she dies, as you do, and then wakes up, and she is now inside the world of the video game. But she wakes up as the main villainess of the video game, who she's remembering like every storyline, and pretty much every storyline, the villain dies. And so now she's got to quickly figure out, oh my God, how do I turn my life around so I don't die again? I literally just woke up in this body.
Yeah.
And
And
it's
it's really funny because she's so. This is another trope that you're going to find with a lot of like main characters in anime. For some reason, a lot of times I like to play them off as being completely unaware of what's going on around them.
Yeah, they like to play
Like they
dumb.
just don't get it.
They, even if it's in their face, they just
In their
don't get
face.
it. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of them like that.
Mm-hmm.
well, getting back to Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
I am not sure because I did watch a few episodes beyond 12, so I'm not sure which ones that we should end on. But I did fall asleep during
Yeah.
one, and I haven't been able to because it was really late. And anyway, Sierra, what's the character that has both sets of genitalia? I didn't know how to say that any other way. But
I know. Hold on.
I wanted to know if that was up to the episode.
It's Gren.
Ren? And have you seen it? I guess you've seen it? Or?
Yeah, the last one that I watched was episode 12, Jupiter Jazz Part 1. And yeah, Faye is at Gren's place and then finds out that.
Yeah, okay. That's the last one I remember. I love how when they keep adding these new characters this far down, like halfway through the series, and they're still making them deep characters.
Yeah.
You know, you get an entire show background on these people.
Oh yeah.
And it's not like one of those, like how in most Westerns they'll bring in a new person. You're like, I'm not feeling it. It's more like, oh, that's actually cool. They have a cool backstory. They're coming in and they're not, I don't know. The way they do it is just, it's not like you're pulling back. It's not like you're reluctant to like them. They make it easy for you to be curious about their character and want to go deeper into their story. I think that's really cool.
Well, you even get that at the end of episode 12 when Spike ends up getting shot because he hesitates because that Lin guy, who obviously he has a history with, kind of steps in front of Vicious and ends up shooting him. You know, you could see that so much was told in that little scene between them where he steps in front and he's like, Lin, get out of the way. I don't want to do this. And he ends up getting shot. So much was told in that little scene of just him hesitating that it's like, okay, now I want to know more about, you know, how Spike knows Lin and, you know, what's going on. And there's so much there. And they don't got to, you know, beat you over the head with it, but they're subtle enough in their storytelling that it makes you want to learn more about it.
Yeah. I can't wait till you guys finish it. I'm excited for that because most of the time I want more, or I notice that they just sometimes like they don't need more, but they still make more and out here. But and then sometimes you're just like, I want another season, I want to know more. But I'm curious to see how you guys react to the end because this is the first time I was actually fully satisfied. Like I was good. I was like, okay, this is it. This is all it is. That's okay. Like I'm not upset. There's like fan theories out there. I'm not gonna go too deep into them, but there's fan theories out there, and they want to try to keep the story going. And I'm like, no, stop. It's good the way it is. I'm just curious how you guys are gonna react to it afterwards.
Well, as soon as we get there, we will let you know.
Yeah. Well, how long? You guys are 12. You got a while. Yeah, 14.
Yeah, well, it all depends on like what is coming up for us. I mean, we can probably finish this if we do like 8 episodes a week, which isn't that much, because they're only half an hour each.
Yeah.
It probably won't be that long, but if we got some, like we got to do Echo this week, so I don't know if we'll, depending on how good Echo is, I don't know if Thursday is going to be all Echo, or we're going to need to fill it in with more Cowboy Bebop. You know, so it all depends on our workload.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, well, no
And then
rush.
after that, I don't think we,
Excited.
outside of trailers possibly dropping or other things to talk about, like casting announcements, things like that, we don't really have anything until Madam Web, and I know how excited you guys are about
Yeah,
Madam
I've
Web.
got.
You know, we got
We're gonna have
theories,
at
we got-
least 26 hours worth of theories. We should do another run of the trailer breakdowns.
We should
By the
break
way,
it down from a different angle.
we
Oh,
saw
so
that
many
trailer.
angles.
We saw that trailer before Wonka, and let me just tell you, it's no better on the big screen. It only highlights how half-assed these people are putting into their roles.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm
you
so
should have
excited.
seen that coming. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I like Dakota Johnson too. I think she's a better actress than what she's given. I don't like the. And I'm not excited
Yeah.
about the web. I'm
See,
not.
I refuse to knock the actors and actresses in these things because I think a lot of it boils down to direction.
Yeah.
You know, if you've got a bad story and you can't direct the characters properly with your bad story, you can't really blame the people playing the roles that they were
Yeah, it's
given.
not their fault.
Well, remember, every scene has multiple takes, and usually
Yeah.
the director picks the one that they choose. So they can
Or-
play this with no emotion whatsoever, and they do it and they go, "That's the best one. Let's run with it." And they have these other
Yeah.
ones where they're just
Like they
expressing
did in
themselves.
Twilight.
Or with Paul
I've
Feig,
never seen
you've
that.
got 10,000 takes and you just, pick the first one out of each bunch.
Or like Clint Eastwood, he likes to do everything in one take.
That's right, one take. It's
Those
good.
one takes are usually really good though.
You gotta
Wait,
ask
did
yourself,
Mike-
Punk, do you feel lucky?
It was a good take, punk. You want to be out here all day.
The key to talking like Clint Eastwood is just don't separate your teeth.
That's right.
Thank you.
What?
Come back next
No.
week for Acting 101 with Keith and Dave.
Starting next week, all of the voices that we have available are just going to be Clint Eastwood from all three of us. Each of us will have our own take on it.
And they
That
cost
would be interesting.
$14,000 a piece.
That's
because
right,
it's
and
worth
we're all
it.
gonna talk like this.
You see my
when-
mule.
Oh, and
None of
Sierra
the
just
racism.
Sierra just redeemed an Arnold for 1,000.
Oh no. You know I got a headache. You know I've got the headache today, right? It's not a tumor.
No, reminded me of the voices. I got points.
So what
he's
what
not a
voice are we
Google.
gonna create for Sierra? Since she's been on our
None.
videos more and more.
I can't do
Oh,
voices.
good
I'm not-
idea.
That's a good call, Doug. We should do it.
No, I can't do
Mm.
Mm.
it.
We have Paul's email. We'll ask him if you do any good impressions.
Yeah.
We'll talk to your sister. We'll talk to your dad. We'll find out.
Wow,
something.
you're just going after everyone.
I'm not going after them. That's not. I'm communicating with them to find out.
This is called blackmail.
Oh God.
This is called in. This is
I'm
called.
just
Hold on.
trying to help. I'm just trying to help with your anime journey.
You want it to be on
know.
the show, you have to do it, as we say.
I don't do any voices.
Let me just tell you, Sarah. I have 115,000 Infinity Stones. Let's get her that voice.
I have 98,000.2.
That's funny. I also have 115,000 points.
Oh God.
Sierra, you in
No.
trouble?
Boy, we can just create so many different voices for her too.
This is my payback. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
You need to get out of here.
Oh, I just got 12 more.
Oh,
Yeah. Well,
get her to
what are
the
you gonna
chopper.
do when you can't find a voice for me? I don't know how to do voices. I can't do
I'm sure we can figure something out.
it.
We trust you, Sarah. We know you're going to do it.
Oh, don't trust me at all.
You need
that's
to do an
that's where
impression
you
of
messed
Ed.
up.
You need to do an impression of Ed.
No. No. Wait, are you guys gonna watch the live action after this?
No, please don't do it.
Okay, don't do it. Okay.
Wait, hold on. Let me mark that off my list.
Yeah, do it.
If you have some free time a year or two from now, by all means, like after you've forgotten the animated series, give like the first episode or two of the live action Cowboy Bebop a watch. it isn't the worst thing that exists. There are much worse things on Netflix. Rebel Moon.
I will say that it's pretty trash though, and I
but
would recommend it.
compared to the animated series, yeah. For instance, like the pilot episode, not nearly as good. The opening of the pilot is pretty good if the live action, but the whole payoff with the way that they introduce the Red Eye, the way that they meet the woman that ends up, dying at the end, done totally different, and it doesn't have the same emotional feeling that the animated version does.
And it's
So
got
it's kind of a
Harold from
shame.
Harold and Kumar.
And then the way they depict Ed is just not.
Ugh.
She's so cringy. It's so bad.
Well, let me
They
just
try
say,
too hard. Go ahead.
you said if we have the time, I'm still finishing up, Breaking Bad. Because remember, there was a few of us who said, hey, if you watch Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad and stuff, we'll all mix
Oh.
together. Hey, how are you guys doing on your watch? Sierra, how's Breaking Bad? Dave's, how's Game of Thrones?
How's Game of Thrones, Dad? How is it? Is it
I've
good?
watched 2 of your shows, Sierra. You haven't watched any of mine. You watch Breaking Bad and start talking to me.
Yeah,
Fine.
and Carrie wants to know how's Battlestar Galactica.
Oh
It's
yeah, I finished
great.
watching that.
Oh, did you?
Oh yeah.
Enjoy it any more than your
It
first
turns out
impressions?
it was Earth all along.
Oh,
Ooh.
It was Agatha all along, you silly.
Just
Yeah,
so
that
you
was
know,
dumb.
too, supposedly Peacock is making a new Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
no, they're not. No way.
Hopefully it's a sequel
know
or a
what?
prequel.
A truer statement has never been posted in our chat before. You're so lame, Doug.
Carrie.
You're lame, Doug. You're lame.
Shakus.
Yeah.
From your city
At
council.
2, Carrie.
Oh look, it's
At two?
Paul.
Yay!
Gotta turn the light so you can see him.
That's racist.
Oh, that's
No way.
Oh my god. Oh shit.
No. No.
Yeah. You know what, Carrie? I am with you 100%. I think that Battlestar Galactica is one of my favorite science fiction shows outside of The Expanse. I just think they did a great job on that show. So much better
I like
than
the
80s
original.
version. Oh, and Tundra Walker has put, let's see, one says "duh," his next statement. And
Yes.
Dave, you're done with your Arnoldism.
Oh, okay.
Still sucks.
Yes. He's right. He is right. I'm sorry. I'm a Bears fan, but he's right. You can't win a game like that. You don't need to be. Everybody needs to be fired.
So
So
do you
back
think,
to
Oh.
our show.
yeah.
Paul, Sierra. I showed this to Keith earlier, but check out what I got for Christmas.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome, actually.
What is
Mm.
it? I can't read it.
Bunny Senpai.
Yep.
Now, Paul, just so you know, earlier in this
That's pretty.
stream,
Why are we
It comes with
that
the movie
way?
too.
Sierra has
What?
backpedaled and says we shouldn't watch Attack on Titan next. Do you
Wait, what?
support that
Yeah,
statement?
I have backpedaled on that one. What do you think?
Do you
He
agree?
hasn't seen Attack on Titan either, so
Just
Oh.
the first season.
he's seen the first season, I guess.
Wait, how many seasons are there of Attack on
3.
Titan?
Well, no, there's 6. 6, and then no, I would say
Was
okay,
there 6?
5, and then 1 movie. Okay, so,
Split up into 2 movies.
okay, let me think. Just let me get a clear thought real quick. Okay, so there's 4 official seasons. They say that the 4th season is the final season, but then they come out with another part 2, and
Oh, yeah.
then
They did split it up.
the next after that it's a movie, and then it's okay, so 5 seasons and then a movie, and then 2
5.1.
movies.
Hey, you gotta move that light, Sierra. You're a little too
You're,
bright.
you're looking like a ghost.
I
Yeah.
know. I tried.
The pale is strong with you.
I'm like, well, they can't see.
Well, no, not. It still needs to be on Paul.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Can you aim it?
There. I think we got it. I think we
Yeah,
got it.
just get really close like this, Sierra. and
I think we got it.
Good job.
Well, should we
Absolutely.
rate these?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Dave.
Attack on Titan's on Crunchyroll, right?
It's on Hulu.
Oh, never mind. Oh, okay.
So what
Do
do
we
you
want to rate
think they
these
should
4
watch
episodes? Was that the suggestion?
What they should watch?
next? Sorry, go
Okay.
ahead, guys. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We're gonna rate these 4 episodes.
All right.
And overall, for these 4 episodes, I'm gonna stick with my rating for the first 8 so far. I'm gonna give it a 7.5. It's definitely trending upward though. I love all the depth. I love Spike is one of my favorite characters in anything
Yes.
I've seen lately. He's
Spike is my favorite character.
yeah, he's pretty
That and the dog. I also love the dog, mostly because like they want to eat it. Their food is terrible.
yes, and the dog is cool. And you know what? Even Jet. I mean, I like his backstory. I like how they're spending time developing each person. It's just so much better than than I thought it was going to be. So I'm going to go with 7.5, but
Its backstory is kind of sad.
it has a way. It's trending upward. I think it'll probably go up by the time of the end of the series.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Keith?
See, I agree. I definitely think it's trending up. I think the more I watch, the more I am digging it. I mean, we get new characters who are, not paper thin, like Dave was talking about earlier. They add new characters with depth and a backstory and are interesting and aren't just carbon copies of things we've already got. I think we're finally going to start getting into more of the main story of this show, of this season. And it's not like it's been boring in any way. I mean, the adventures they've been having and the things they've been doing. I mean, the shows are all diverse. You get different things, you get weird ones like Toys in the Attic, with a crazy monster that's taking over kind of things. You get that Jet backstory with, his long lost love. I won't even say long lost love because he wasn't so much upset that they weren't together anymore. It was just how she left and he wanted to know why. And I thought that was a great way to have it. He wasn't like a lovesick guy. He's just like, why was that all I got? What made you leave? Kind of curious about that. And then you kind of get into the, the Spike backstory with Vicious and Lynn and all that stuff. And I'm going to bump this up to about an 8.8. Because I'm telling you, I really am digging this show. I've always been big into sci-fi. We talked about that earlier. And they are just doing a great job. And I mean, when I watch it, I even get upset when like the little mid Cowboy Bebop, thing comes out, which would have been a commercial. But I was still like, oh, come on, let's get back at it. And it's only like 2 seconds. So, I mean, I can't wait to really finish this. And I'm loving every moment that I'm watching it. And I'm happy we decided to start with this because I do think it is going to keep me down the anime path and wanting to watch more.
Yeah, it's engaging. You don't want to pick up your phone and start looking at your phone halfway through the show. You know what I mean? You don't want to start looking at the social. You're engaged. You're dragged into the show.
That's the best part about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's over, and you're like, oh, maybe I should have seen that text from my wife. Sorry, you are stranded. I will come get you in a minute.
If she walks in, the Uber just dropped her off. I sent that 5 hours ago.
He's covered it in mud. He's
Never
like, I
thought
was
of
in a ditch, you jerk.
Oh, good,
Sorry,
you're just in
watch
time. Get
Cowboy
ready to start the
Bebop.
next episode.
I hope you are doing something good. Yes, I was saving a bus full of children going to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Yes,
Oh, my
sorry.
Well, my father told me to let them drown. Oh, that was Jonathan Kent. I'm sorry.
Have you guys seen the well, I'd call it a meme, but it was an actual scene from the animated Spider-Man series from the 90s where Spider-Man reveals his identity to a kid, and then as he leaves, they close in on the sign, and it's a what do you call it, home for dying children?
Terminal ill children,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just saw that recently. I'm like, that's just messed up.
That was a real thing that they put on TV.
The 90s was a wild time, people.
Yeah, it was.
Oh my god.
I wouldn't know. I wasn't there.
Sure, I'll share my
You were
secret
there for 2
identity
years
with
of it.
you. It's not like you'll be able to tell anyone.
Isn't Speed Racer technically an anime?
It is.
Yeah, Speed Racer
is.
is anime.
I mean,
TG.
that would be a good one. It's not
Astro Boy is anime
hilarious.
too.
TG,
TG's
welcome
here.
to the chat. Happy to see you. We're talking a little Cowboy Bebop in our anime for beginners playlist. Dave and I are enjoying. I was going to say season 1, but we're enjoying the season of Cowboy Bebop so far. And I was on your stream a little earlier, enjoying the Bop or Flop. Before we
Great
came on
music,
here.
yeah.
Some good songs, definitely.
We want to ask you guys to rate it because you've already seen it. This is for me and Keith alone.
And TG, I'm gonna post this for you. Oh,
The
anime,
anime.
not the live action. Come
Yeah,
on,
not
man.
the live action.
I hope they know better than that.
And TG, I'm gonna post this for you in case you're interested in seeing which anime our viewers recommended for Keith and Dave to watch. This is a booklet that we put together. This contains all of the anime that are considered a good starting point for newbies to kind of
He
get them
had-
into anime.
He had a couple suggestions from the list that I didn't think of. If you want to go ahead and say for
From
the
the
next
list
one,
or
from the list.
okay, all right, yeah, sure,
If it's not Attack on Titan,
all right.
so that's not. If you want to stay in the same cyberpunk, same sci-fi, cyberpunk is pretty short. Quick little.
It is, yeah. It's only one season.
If you want
It's
something
pretty dark and heavy, though.
If you want something weird but just fun, Fooly Cooly definitely.
Yeah, 100%.
Cooley? That's,
Yep.
I think it was on that. Yeah.
That's nice
number
and short
one on
too.
the list, right?
One season. Because
It is pretty short.
because you know what's great about Fooly Cooly is they only made the one season of that show and then they never thought about touching it again.
Yeah. So
yeah,
that was
nobody
another...
ever made another one. Don't go looking for it because it doesn't exist.
They didn't need it. They didn't need it either. It was just, it is what it is. That's
so like if you see something called Fooly Cooly Alternative, that's not real. That's not there. They didn't make that.
It doesn't exist.
Now, if you want to watch something traumatizing, watch Berserk.
Oh,
Oh, you should read that. Not. That's
But-
just.
If you want mild traumatization, watch it. If you want full on, read it. Read the manga.
I've been getting back into Jujutsu Kaisen. I kind of forgot.
Oh yeah, no, I got him onto it too recently.
That's not in our book, but it's a good one for you guys eventually.
It's a good one, I will say. It's kind of in the beginning. I guess it's because I'm used to the trope, and so was he.
Yeah.
Like the training arc is just, I don't care. I don't
Yeah.
care, and I have to watch it with him. And then we took a break because he did not want to see the training arc. So I mean, it might be for newcomers who don't know about the training arc. Might not be a bother, but for me, it is. For me, it's like, oh my god, I'm
They should
ready.
just
It's
made a
good
training
for character
montage.
development. That's what it's good for, because you
Yeah.
get to learn who these people are by how they
Yeah.
train.
Pretty much.
What is JJK?
Jujutsu
Jujutsu
Kaisen.
Kaisen.
Yeah. He did suggest Demon Slayer. I think Demon Slayer is pretty good. It's got a movie. It's got 2 movies now.
Yep.
It is multiple seasons, but I think each season is like 12 episodes.
Yeah, like
13, something like that.
yeah, it's
It's
very
pretty short.
Sorry, go ahead.
But
No, I was gonna say the animation is very polished.
it's very polished.
Yeah.
It
We were
is.
just
Oh my
having a
god, it's beautiful
conversation.
animation. I love. That
Yeah.
was one of the things. Like when I first saw the trailers for Demon Slayer, I knew I wanted to watch it just because it looked so darn like. It looked pretty, man. It was real smooth animation, and that can be hard to come across sometimes because another trope that you're gonna find within the anime world. I don't even know if trope is the right word. These people are overworked, like extensively.
TG
Yeah.
just said Demon Slayer be having me crying for the demons.
Yeah, they do
I
that
mean,
sometimes.
yeah, they really do. Cause the way that the main character he's so good. He's
Yeah.
the type of good that anyone would strive to be. He's like he got a clear soul. He's like, okay, but what about their backstory? It gets annoying. I'm not gonna lie. It does get to the point where you're like, okay, but he did this, and this.
But the best way I kind of describe Demon Slayer, I know it's a crazy comparison, but imagine the demons in Demon Slayer are a lot like the villains of Batman. They have very in-depth stories and backgrounds of why they are doing what they're doing, why they became the way they became. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
That reminds me, another night we'll have to have who has the best rogues gallery, Batman or Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
Yeah. Well, all the Batman all the Batman villains are just different personalities in his split personality, right?
Very true.
I've seen that theory, yeah.
Oh, you know what? He just finished playing the third Spider-Man game, Spider-Man 2.
I love that.
And we were discussing the difference between Batman and Spider-Man and which character is better. Before
I choose Spider.
Yeah. His
Just
favorite
biased.
is Spider-Man.
Just
So before I wanted to, before we gave our opinions, I wanted to get their opinions, but you gave yours. So same question. Who do you think is the better superhero from different universes?
Jesus.
Batman or Spider-Man?
Batman or Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah.
Hmm.
Why?
I'm definitely going to go with Spider-Man 2, only because I related much more to him growing up and reading him. He was a kid who had no money, who always wanted to do the right thing, and it didn't always pan out for him, but he still did it.
But that's the reason why I like Spider-Man, is because he didn't always want to do the right thing. In the very beginning, when he got his powers, he did totally want to use them just to be popular, to make money, to get the girl. He did what pretty much anyone else would do until he realized, oh shit, there are consequences to my actions.
He realized what?
He realized that, when
comes
there are
great
certain responsibilities that exist within the world, sometimes you need to use your powers, which may or may not be great. And sorry, I'm doing the Amazing Spider-Man version.
Yeah.
It was great.
Well, I'm talking Amazing, the comic book version. But
no, I'm talking about the movie.
Yeah,
the nice extra long drawn out Uncle Ben version.
Read,
Took like an hour.
PG's comment there.
Is Batman really a hero? He is more like a rich man who won't go to therapy, so be
I mean, honestly, though, learning more about Batman. I used to like Batman a lot, but learning more about Batman, he's not very good. He takes children. He takes children and he grooms them to be super soldiers and fighters. He didn't even.
Only when they have no other options.
Nah, he doesn't have to train them to be super soldiers. He can set them up for life. He has all the money.
He is setting them up for life.
Set them up for life. He could just give that to them and let them live their lives and be happy. Instead, he made them superheroes.
How many of his Robins
superheroes
go out on their own?
What?
How many of his Robins? How many of the people he trains go out on their own?
Yeah, but he trains them. I'm saying when he gets
because they want to. He takes them in. Like he took Dick Grayson in because he was orphaned after what happened at the Flying Graysons thing.
Yeah.
He didn't want him to become a Robin. He is always against kids going out and putting themselves in danger. But they always say, I can do it. I can, let me do it. Yada yada yada. But the best Batman stories are not the ones where he's beating up, villains, like beating the crap out of them and being the Batman we've seen in a lot of movies. The best Batman stories have always been when he's showing off that he's the world's greatest detective. When he's, searching clues and finding things out. It's easy to write a story where he goes and he can beat the crap out of people and they give him that information. But where he has to use some guile and, figure out things and he shows just how smart he is. Those are the better Batman stories. And unfortunately, a lot of stories of his have gotten away from that. And, it is, in my opinion, I still love Batman, don't get me wrong, but it's hurt his character a bit, getting away from what he does best.
Being the world's greatest detective.
T.G. Robin didn't need therapy until he met Bruce. His parents were killed in front of him.
Which Robin?
Batman
That's a good point.
at
No, I
all.
don't really see him.
I'd say the best Batman that I've seen beside, well, Dad, you're gonna be mad, but I don't care. I liked Robert Pattinson. I think
The
he's
Batman.
the Batman. Yeah. I thought that was a pretty good, that was pretty
It
decent
was
for
more
Batman.
detective.
It was more,
Batman.
yeah, it was more Detective Batman, especially from learning more about it before watching it and learning what Batman was supposed to be. I feel like that's the best Batman.
I I I have to disagree. I mean,
I
I
know.
know we're totally on tangent time here, but
We
I
are.
think the the best Batman movie to me was Batman Begin, and then The Dark Knight right after it. Those two are just he's operating by himself. He's being the detective. It's showing how he gained his fighting skills. It's such a complete story.
I felt like the Batman was a little more I guess animated. I guess the characters were just the whole overall feel of it was Batman to me. And the characters, they displayed them very well, I thought, as well. I will say, out of the Christian Bale Batman, I liked my favorite. That was the best Joker. Now, if they would have mixed that
Oh, yeah.
Joker with the Batman, best movie.
I don't think the Joker's going to appear in this new Batman series by
Mhm.
Matt Reeves. I think they're going to save him for the DCU.
Well, they've already
The
Joker?
James Gunn has already said that the Batman is its own universe. And
Yeah.
they can use
Right.
their own Joker. And the Joker already showed up. I mean, he was I forget his name, but the guy who was in Eternals.
Yeah. I don't
And
know.
see, I
Go
loved.
ahead.
Don't get me wrong, I loved Batman Begins, and I loved The Dark Knight. But something about the Batman just totally grabbed me. And I know
Yeah.
I saw Carrie's. She says the longest movie ever. She was dying for it to end. I didn't feel that way at all. It was very slow paced, but it was a young Batman. It was Batman year one, where he's still learning and trying to figure things out and going through it. And much like hearing Heath Ledger was cast as the Joker, which I was completely against and turned out to be great. When I saw Robert Pattinson, I was like, can he really pull off the Batman? And he nailed it. He did a great job. Now, whether he's better than Christian Bale, he needs a few more movies on his belt before I'm
don't
willing
think he
to
was a
anoint
great
him.
Bruce Wayne, but then again, he was still kind of like new to it.
Well, remember,
I
Bruce
think-
Wayne is the alter ego.
I know,
Right.
but I don't think he played I think he was fine as the person wearing the costume, and that's it.
It was the opposite of Ben Affleck then, because I thought Ben Affleck was a good Bruce Wayne, but not a
Yeah.
good Batman.
I can say that, yeah. But I also thought, like, from the beginning, as soon as they announced, as soon as our Lord and Savior Zachary Snyder announced that he wanted to use the version of Batman from The Dark Knight Returns, I'm like, that's a bad choice. You shouldn't start with that. That is not the Batman that you need to start people off with. When he's already like grizzled and is like, you know what, guns are okay.
Yeah, he's already had his back broken.
I was born in the darkness.
Yeah, that was like 20 years ago.
Are you guys gonna go back to playing video games?
At some point,
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad versus the Justice League is coming out.
Have you played the Spider-Man game yet?
I don't have a PS5 yet.
Oh yeah, okay. We got one recently, and I will say that it is the best Spider-Man story that I've seen. Now I'm not deep into Spider-Man and all that stuff, but based on what I know, I will say that this seems like the best Spider-Man story that I've ever come across, at least. That I feel like Spider-Man 2 and just the game from what I've seen personally in the game, I feel like it's what the fans would want. It's got Miles Morales in it. It's got Doc Ock, and it's like normally in the comics you don't see Miles and Peter, they're not working together, but in the game they work together. and they're going
Like in the
against
animated
all.
movie.
No,
Like-
they're in the same city.
They're in the same city.
Like, there's two. Like the city knows there's two Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
And that is the current comic run in the in Marvel Comics. They are in the same city and they do work together at times. There's been a Spider-Man limited series where they were working together. It was really good.
Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. Well, just seeing all of it, like, I don't know, it was like a lot of Peter's story, but then to go and have Miles assist him with like the Sandman, with
There's both their stories overlap at the same time.
yeah.
Like Peter got his stuff going on, but Miles got his stuff going on, and their drama, they're two separate dramas overlapping each other.
And they're helping each other out. I think that's awesome. They had Black Cat in there too. She was a pretty solid character from what I've seen. What?
I think it's great when they can. Yeah, I think the writers of these games are sometimes more creative than the movies we see.
That's what I'm thinking too, because I
And-
feel like a lot of times more like Injustice, the DC games are just way better than any DC movie that's come out. In my opinion,
Animated movies are really good.
like the
And
Injustice story is awesome. Like it's not that hard to play the game. It's if you want to play it, Dad, because I know you don't play video games like that, but it's very easy mechanics. So
Oh,
I
thanks.
would recommend you play that just to get the story.
The
I'm
bar
sorry,
is
I'm
pretty low on
tangenting.
DC, so it's not hard to make a good DC story outside of their universe.
Yeah.
And
Wait.
TG says that Spider-Verse is still the best for him.
Oh my gosh, I agree. So good.
For
Yeah.
movies?
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
By-
still,
by the
every
way,
time-
just as a reminder, Aquaman was the most recent DC movie. So again, low bar.
Who I was telling Doug before we streamed today, my nephew texted me today and said, I should have listened to you. I saw Aquaman today. And I was like, I tried to tell you, man.
This is why we put out those videos. So you don't have to waste your time.
So bad. Such a bad movie.
I'm
But-
not even curious. I wasn't even curious hearing about
mean,
it.
At least Aquaman got a number on the Doug scale, unlike Rebel Moon.
That's true.
Yeah.
Aquaman
I'm
probably
not-
would have been
I'm
the
gonna
worst movie
see.
we saw if it wasn't for Rebel Moon.
Yep.
I'm gonna look at the Rotten Tomatoes.
And no
No.
TG, Echo is not out yet. It comes out Tuesday. All 5 episodes drop Tuesday
Yep.
night. We'll be talking about it on Thursday. We're going to talk Theory Palooza here in probably a few minutes. It is getting kind of late. So hopefully everyone can hang on, hang out. What are we seeing there? Wow, 23.
60% on
I'm
the
sorry, 60% for the audience score?
Yeah.
That's hard to believe.
Yes,
Who is
TG, this
liking it?
Tuesday.
It's 162 reviews for the 23%, 5,000 ratings
Oh,
for
that's fine.
60.
Yeah, how many of those are real people?
Those are bots.
Yeah.
Those are bots.
I think the lowest I've ever seen on here was 22%, and that was for the Exorcist movie. But that movie wasn't even that bad. It was just
I
How
do
they
believe
do
the
that.
Fantastic Four reboot was like 7% or 9%.
That- let me see.
Oh, boy.
And that was a wretched movie.
What about Steel? What was that?
Deal?
Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, and Carrie's
Steve.
asking, have you seen Jason's interviews? Jason who?
Momoa.
Oh,
No.
Jason
Oh,
Momoa's?
wow.
Mm-mm.
I have not.
Hold on.
Can't see that, Sierra.
You,
Oh,
you see it
19.
now?
Oh,
Oh,
8%.
what? Oh, Steel. Yeah, that's a terrible movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that when I was younger.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
25.
wait.
And it barely follows the actual story of Steel, like the Steel from the comic books,
Yeah. Steel really came into
in name only.
existence because of, Doomsday, and when they killed Superman,
Yeah.
Steel
Well-
emerged from that.
But the movie that she just showed you, they had to have had maybe a $12 budget. The costume is so bad.
I guess Steel was worse than Rebel Moon. I guess you could say that.
No, we can't say that.
I mean, they're in two different categories though. Like Rebel Moon had like a massive budget, and everybody was saying, like I was telling the guys, I showed them earlier, you should see the marketing that was done for it. The posters, kudos to their marketing team. They're really good. They look really good. It's a shame because it was such a lackluster, boring movie that, and Zach, I hope you're still here and I hope you're still taking notes. But Zach, you didn't develop your characters. We didn't care about any of them. I was going through looking and I'm like, wait, who was that person? What did they do? Like I couldn't remember because you didn't develop any of your characters in the world that you didn't really develop.
I don't remember any of their names. That's how bad. Well, except for a Blood Axe, because how can you forget that name?
Oh, I know, so creative.
Yeah.
Especially with the performance that Ray Fisher gave.
Oh yeah, it was incredible.
Oh, was he one of the Blood Axes?
He
I
was
cried.
Blood Axe.
It
He
was
was
amazing.
the boy Blood Axe.
The boy Blood. That's pretty bad. He was the boy Blood Axe. Hey fellow nerds, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more of this stuff, make sure that you check out our Twitch stream. We try to do these live Sunday or Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Keep an eye on our social media to find out when you can join in live and chat with us during these live streams. Also, as usual, don't forget to check out our other social media. Add us at Twitter, comment down below, and we'll see you next time right here on Not Your Status Quo.